Another first, this panel is being videoed, so we hope to bring you some snippets of it as time goes on. I'm Ann Goodman. I'm the Executive Director of the Women's Network for a Sustainable Future, and I welcome you to this important roundtable, which is our first peer learning session of 2010. The carbon question is everywhere these days. It's especially prevalent since the run-up to December's Copenhagen conference on how to mitigate climate change, or what some are now labeling the letdown in its aftermath.
We had spent the last 35 years politicizing the environment, and we did a great job of politicizing the environment, and that's too bad, because what we should have done was environmentalize politics, so that we take the environment off the chopping block to be pitted against other issues. Most importantly for companies, it is about managing risk. It doesn't matter if you have certainty. You know, if you have certainty at any point in terms of a storm or something, you are too late.
Being good stewards of the environment is just important in and of itself, but it's also good business, and I think that's a very important point that many responsible corporations believe. We can reduce costs to our customers by focusing on the environment.
We do have a lot of interest in energy efficient products, but if our market actually had to reduce their emissions, there might be a little more interest. Talk to a manufacturing plant these days about putting together the investment, the upfront investment to put those new drives and motors into their plant, and they've got to choose between equipment and jobs, and you can imagine the choice they're logically going to make. Whether there's a treaty with binding commitments, whether there's a U.S. law, which I'll talk about a little bit since that's part of my background too, there's still an environmental issue here, and it's more than an environmental issue. It's going to affect cultures, it's going to affect whether people can farm, whether people have to change their way of life, it's going to affect coastal communities, it's going to affect our market.
A lot of our clients around the world don't need to be told by UN bureaucrats or State Department bureaucrats that there's an issue that needs to get dealt with here. So they understand that climate change, the implications of climate change, it's a big issue. It's not going away. We don't need people to tell us this is an issue. We get it. So what are we going to do about it? And any business leader of a major company who sits back and says, I'm not doing anything because I'm not being told to, is clearly not a leader in his industry or her industry.
Doing the really unsexy things is very cost effective. Yeah. You know, good windows make a difference. Shutting off the lights makes a difference. Using daylighting schemes that allow you to supplement your artificial daylight is hugely effective.
Just looking at a line I have here from Amory Lovins, and I know many of you know who that is. We don't need to debate how much it will cost to reduce emissions, nor whether the cost is worth paying, nor who should pay, because protecting the climate is not costly but profitable. Saving fuel is cheaper than buying fuel. Energy efficiency costs less than the fuel it saves. And there are thousands of practitioners who can show it.